Timecode NOLA. The New Orleans Independent Film Program.
Hi, my name is Richie. I'm the director of the documentary Shell Shocked, Nolan's E-Story. It's a feature-length documentary, and we want to show three different things. We want to show what it's like to be a young person growing up amongst gun violence and the real worries and the real concerns that these kids face in their day-to-day lives. We're also looking at what it's like, what were the long-term effects on a family when they've lost a young one to gun violence. And then we're also looking at mentoring programs, the people that are working with these kids through this difficult time in their lives.
The program is really good. We've got a great filming experience, learn how to use Final Cut Pro, and that's a skill that we're gonna have for the rest of our lives. And one day we might make our own documentary.
Matt plus four other teenagers are the subject matters of the film. Over the past year, we've interviewed them, we've kind of followed them, and we're seeing what it's like to be a young person growing up in New Orleans. Let's see, most of the kids, actually all the kids have lost someone to gun violence at one point or another in their lives.
It's one thing to imagine and try to compare yourself, do a comparison of your lifestyle in a certain place and down here. And it's another thing when you're actually living down here.
I guess one thing that was really interesting is that I think we really got to the emotional health of people whenever they find themselves living in stressful environments, to where it's a reality that you might actually get shot at some point in your life. And I think that that's something that people don't really necessarily think about, especially when it comes to black teenagers. They don't necessarily think about the emotional well-being of them whenever we're discussing issues concerning like gun violence, because oftentimes we think that the kids that end up dying are kids that are involved in drug trade and stuff like that. So we think that they might have had it coming to them, but it's not necessarily like that. The fact that we live in what's supposed to be like the best country in the world, and we kind of we're accepting of the fact that as far as like black on black violence is something that just happens, and that there's not really a solution to it. And and oftentimes these are young men doing this. I think that it's horrible that we accept that as being something that's just kind of a shame, rather than it being unnatural. And as far as like that, it's something that's unsolvable. I think that that's a ridiculous notion. We've been doing a bunch of different things to raise the funds in order to finish this film. We did this thing that was called Kickstarter, which was an online fundraising website. And the idea is that you have a certain amount of days to raise a certain amount of money. Our goal was $20,000. With that $20,000, we're looking to be able to pay our editor, pay our composer. Our composer is Shamar Allen. But we're probably, when you see this, we're probably still needing money. So if you feel like donating to this project, you can go to our website, which is www.crescentcityfilms.net, and there's a PayPal on there. All donations are tax deductible. It would be a great help. If you don't want to donate to this film, I do highly recommend donating any kind of money, like as far as any kind of money that you're doing for tax write-offs or anything like that, to your local mentoring program.